Okay, so Balm of Gilead.
Balm of Gilead, yeah.
It's a fascinating concept.
It is.
And we're going to be diving into Elder Brent H. Nielson's October 2021 General Conference Address.
Okay.
It's called, Is There No Balm in Gilead?
Mm.
You know, when you first hear that phrase, Balm of Gilead, you might be thinking
Right.
like something out of,
Yeah.
an ancient apothecary or
Yeah,
something.
some potion.
Yeah.
Some magic potion or something.
But Elder Nielson, he uses this idea to explore something much, much deeper.
Deeper.
And that's the nature of healing and hope,
Mm.
especially when life throws you curveballs.
Absolutely, and he does it.
And you know what?
Yeah.
He actually uses a really personal story from his own life
That's right.
to really bring these points home.
I think that's such a powerful way to connect with the listener.
Absolutely.
And to bring in that human element right away.
Totally.
Yeah.
So Elder Nielson talks about his father being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Imagine the weight of that news.
Yeah.
The family is, of course, devastated.
Of course.
And they're doing everything they can.
Right.
They're fasting, they're praying, they're giving blessing.
They're pulling out all the stops.
Desperately hoping for a miracle.
And this sets up, I think, a question that so many of us wrestle with.
Yeah.
Why do some prayers for healing seem to be answered in these, like, dramatic ways?
Yeah.
And then other times, not so much.
It's a question that can really shake your faith
Absolutely.
if you're not careful.
It really can.
So let's dig into this Balm of Gilead idea a little bit.
Okay.
It's kind of exotic sounding.
It is, and it has a really fascinating history.
Okay.
So, literally, Balm of Gilead refers to this fragrant ointment that
Right.
they made from the resin of this bush
Oh,
that grew in Gilead, which was this region in ancient Israel.
interesting.
And this stuff was famous
Oh, wow.
for its healing properties.
Hmm.
Think of it like the ancient world's wonder drug.
Okay, so there's a real tangible aspect to it.
Right.
But Elder Nielson,
Yeah.
he kind of takes it way beyond just the physical remedy.
Yeah, he does.
He connects it to a passage from the prophet Jeremiah. Now, Jeremiah cries out, "Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there?"
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Jeremiah wasn't just talking about,
Right.
scraped knee.
Yeah, just a
A
cough.
bad cough. No.
He's talking bigger.
He was lamenting the state of his entire nation,
Mm-hmm.
which was in turmoil and desperately needed healing on a societal level.
Exactly. So the Balm of Gilead starts to represent this much broader idea
Okay.
of a remedy for all kinds of suffering,
Yeah.
both individual and collective.
And then Elder Nielson, he takes it even further.
He does.
He links the Balm of Gilead to Jesus Christ himself.
Hmm.
So essentially, he's saying Christ is the ultimate source of healing.
I mean, that's a powerful connection.
Yes.
Suddenly we're not just talking about
Right.
physical ailments or even these societal woes.
Right.
We're talking about the healing on the deepest level.
Yeah.
Healing our hearts, our minds, our souls.
Okay, so now we're really getting into deep dive territory
We're
here.
going deep.
Let's bring it back to Elder Nielson's personal story for a moment.
Okay.
His father ultimately didn't survive the cancer, right?
That's right.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because Elder Nielson starts to grapple with this question.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Why weren't his family's fervent prayers answered the way they'd hoped?
Mm-hmm.
He's wrestling with that age-old question, why do bad things happen to good people?
That's something I think so many of us can relate to.
So relatable.
It really is.
I mean, who hasn't felt that way at some point, right?
Absolutely. It's like a universal human experience.
Yeah.
And Elder Nielson actually turns to the New Testament.
Okay.
He uses a story to try to shed some light
Okay.
on this very question.
Yeah, okay. Which story is that?
He uses the story of the paralyzed man
Okay.
who's brought to Jesus.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
The crowd is so big, they have to lower the guy through the roof?
Oh, yeah. Talk about a dramatic entrance.
Right. Talk about determination.
Yeah.
But here's the thing,
Okay.
and it's crucial to understanding Elder Nielson's point here.
Okay.
Before physically healing the man,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus says this.
Okay.
He says, "Son, thy sins be forgiven thee."
Oh, that's interesting.
So he addresses the man's spiritual state
Okay.
before addressing his physical condition.
That's really interesting. Why would he do that?
That's a great question.
I mean, you would think the physical healing would be
Yeah, you
a
would.
little more urgent need in the moment.
Right,
Right.
right. You would think, and that's where I think it gets so insightful.
Okay.
What if Jesus was highlighting a much deeper truth about healing?
Okay.
What if, in some cases, spiritual healing is actually the greater priority?
So it's not always about the outward physical
That-
manifestation of the healing.
There's something more profound happening
Yeah.
below the surface.
This is making me rethink a lot of things.
I know, right?
And this ties back to Elder Nielsen's own experience,
It
right?
absolutely does.
So he starts to wonder if perhaps his family was healed,
Mm-hmm.
just not in the way that they initially expected.
Right. Maybe the miracle wasn't about this dramatic physical recovery, but something more profound happening in their hearts and in their minds.
I'm starting to see how this Balm of Gilead concept goes so much deeper.
Way beyond.
Than just, treating physical ailments.
Absolutely.
It's about a much deeper transformation.
Yeah.
A kind of healing that may not always be visible.
Not always visible.
To the naked eye.
That's right.
This is great, but I think we need to pause here for now.
Right.
There's so much more to uncover, and I'm sure our listeners are already starting to connect these ideas for their own experiences.
I think so.
We'll pick this back up in the next part.
Sure, good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Balm of Gilead.
Yeah, it's amazing how such a simple phrase
I know, right?
can unlock so much depth.
I'm already seeing healing in a whole new light after that first segment.
Absolutely.
And we were just starting to touch on how Elder Nielson uses his own experience, his personal experience, to explore why sometimes, even with the most fervent prayers, we don't see the outcome we're hoping for.
Absolutely.
Right. That idea that maybe what we perceive as an unanswered prayer is actually God's plan unfolding in a way that we don't immediately understand.
Right.
Elder Nielson calls this expediency.
Right. It does, yeah.
It's such a tough concept to grasp, I think, especially when we're in the thick of things and we're longing for a specific outcome.
We naturally want to hold on to hope for a physical healing, for things to go back to how they were.
It's like our human instinct is to try to control the situation, to make things go the way we think they should.
Yeah, to make things go our way.
But Elder Nielson's prompting us to consider a different perspective. It's challenging us to trust that even when things don't go according to our plan, there might be a higher purpose at play, a purpose that might be beyond our current understanding.
Right, a purpose we can't see yet.
It makes me think of that saying.
What's that?
God doesn't always give us what we want, but he always gives us what we need.
Oh, I love that saying, yeah.
And sometimes what we need most is to surrender our need for control. Let go of our limited perspective and to open ourselves up to the possibility that God's plan might look different than we envisioned.
Absolutely. And, that can be
for sure.
So much easier said than done.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it involves people we love the most.
Right. So how do we reconcile that deep desire for a certain outcome with this idea of trusting in God's will, even when it's hard, even when it feels painful?
That's where faith comes in, right?
Okay.
And not just faith in a specific outcome, but faith in God's love and wisdom, even when his ways are beyond our comprehension.
So instead of a faith that demands, give me what I want, it's more of a, help me to trust in your plan.
Yeah.
Even when it doesn't make sense to me.
Even when it doesn't make sense, exactly.
And that kind of faith can be so empowering.
It really can be.
Because it allows us to find peace and acceptance, even in the midst of the storm.
Yeah. It doesn't erase the pain, but it allows us to navigate it with a different kind of strength.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
Okay.
But I'm still wondering, how does this relate to the Balm of Gilead?
Okay.
We keep circling back to this idea of it being this powerful symbol of healing.
Right.
But what does that actually look like in our lives?
I think of it this way.
Okay.
The Balm of Gilead isn't some magical cure-all that instantly fixes everything.
Okay.
It represents, I think, the source of healing itself.
Okay.
Which, of course, Elder Nielson would say is Jesus Christ.
So it's not about the outward application?
No, not really.
Of some remedy?
It's about connecting to a power that transforms us from the inside out.
It's almost like the Balm of Gilead is working on us in ways that we're not even aware of at first.
Yeah.
Like a seed being planted, growing beneath the surface.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
We might not see the fruits right away.
Right.
But they're there, slowly taking root.
It's like it speaks to that patience that's required in the healing process.
Yeah.
We live in this world that values instant gratification, quick fixes.
Yeah.
But true healing often takes time. It takes nurturing.
Yeah.
And a willingness to surrender to the process.
Which brings us back to Elder Nielson's reflection on his own family's journey.
Yeah.
Even though his father wasn't physically healed,
right.
He sees the balm of Gilead at work in their lives in other ways.
In other ways, yeah.
He talks about his mother's incredible strength, the unity that grew within the family, his own personal resilience in the face of grief.
Absolutely. And, these all become examples of how healing can manifest in these unexpected forms, in these seemingly small but powerful shifts that happen within us.
And ultimately, he finds peace in knowing that his father experienced a spiritual healing and has that hope of resurrection.
That's such a profound point, right?
Yeah.
It reminds us that the balm of Gilead isn't just about healing in this life, but about a healing that extends beyond our earthly experience. A hope that transcends the boundaries of time and space.
I gotta be honest with you. My mind is officially blown.
I know, right?
We've gone from ancient ointment to deep spiritual concepts.
It's a journey.
This balm of Gilead is turning out to be a much richer idea than I initially imagined.
Look more too.
I'm feeling like we need a pause here.
Okay.
To just let all of this sink in.
Sure.
This balm of Gilead is potent stuff.
It really is.
But don't worry, we'll be back.
We'll be back.
For one last segment.
One more.
To bring it all home.
To wrap it all up. Back again.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Balm of Gilead.
We've spent the last 2 segments unpacking this idea of the balm of Gilead.
A lot to unpack.
My mind is still reeling, I gotta be honest.
I am.
From all the insights that we've uncovered.
It's a journey of discovery.
It really is. We started with this image of an ancient healing ointment. And now we're exploring these profound truths about healing and hope and God's grace.
Yeah, it's like Elder Nielson has given us this key to unlock a whole new understanding of how God works in our lives, even when things don't go according to our plan.
Right. And one of the most powerful takeaways for me is this concept that God's grace and healing power are limitless.
They're not finite.
Right.
They're not a finite resource.
It's not like there's a limited supply of balm of Gilead, and once it's gone, it's gone.
No, not at all.
Elder Nielson actually uses a really vivid story from the Bible to illustrate this point.
I know which one you're talking about.
Oh, you know it.
The loaves and fishes.
Yeah. The miracle of the loaves and fishes.
Of course.
Where Jesus feeds thousands of people with just a few loaves of bread and some fish.
Just a little bit.
And then, okay, here's the detail that always just gets me.
Yeah.
There are 12 baskets of leftovers.
It's incredible.
It's just this powerful image of abundance.
It really is.
It's like this visual reminder that God's blessings overflow.
They overflow, yeah.
His love and mercy are a feast that never runs out.
Or never runs out.
I love that.
I love that too.
It's just so comforting to think that no matter what we're going through, no matter how broken or lost we might feel,
doesn't matter.
There's always a place for us at this table.
Absolutely.
Of grace and abundance.
And I think what's even more beautiful is that, the healing that we receive may not always come in the package we expect.
Exactly.
It might not be this dramatic, instantaneous miracle.
Right.
Sometimes it's about those subtle shifts that happen within us.
Yeah, like a newfound sense of peace.
Yeah, or increased resilience.
A deeper connection with loved ones.
Yeah.
A stronger faith.
All of that, yeah.
Elder Nielson's story is a testament to this, right?
Thank you.
He initially felt like his family had been denied a miracle.
Right.
Because his father wasn't physically healed.
Right.
But as he reflected on their experience, he started to see all these other ways.
All these other ways, yeah.
In which the balm of Gilead had been working in their lives.
And I think that happens a lot.
I think so too.
Yeah.
His mother's strength, the family's unity.
Yeah, his own personal growth.
Yeah.
Through the whole ordeal.
It's like we have to adjust our vision, our expectations to see those subtle but profound ways in which God's already working in our lives.
And I think that brings us back to that crucial distinction between physical healing and spiritual healing.
Right.
Sometimes the most profound transformations happen within our hearts and souls, even when our bodies are facing challenges.
It's like the balm of Gilead is working on us from the inside out.
Yes.
Reshaping our perspectives, softening our hearts, and opening us up to new possibilities.
It's beautiful.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
I'm
curious, What's the one message you hope our listeners take away?
Oh, that's a good question.
From this exploration of the Balm of Gilead?
For me, it's this.
Okay.
No matter what you're facing, no matter how dark or difficult things might seem, never give up on the possibility of healing. God's love and mercy are always available to you. The Balm of Gilead is always there. Waiting to be discovered. Waiting to work its transformative power in your life.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
And it might not, erase your pain or solve all your problems overnight.
Not a magic bullet.
But it can provide you with the strength, the resilience, the hope to keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
This has been such a rich and insightful deep dive.
It has been, yeah.
I feel like we've only just begun to scratch the surface
of
this concept.
There's always more to uncover.
But I'm already looking at my own life, my own struggles, with a newfound sense of hope.
That's what it's all about.
It really is.
That's the beauty of it.
And that's the beauty of exploration, isn't it? It opens our minds to new possibilities, challenges our assumptions, and helps us to see the world and ourselves. Through a lens of grace and healing.
I love that.
So as we leave our listeners to ponder all of this,
I
want to pose one final question.
Okay, shoot.
How might you be overlooking instances of healing in your own life?
That's a good question.
What are the subtle blessings, the unexpected moments of grace that maybe you've taken for granted?
Good question to sit with.
It is.
And as you reflect on it, remember that the Balm of Gilead is always available to you.
It is.
A source of comfort and strength. And a hope to guide you on your journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Balm of Gilead.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep exploring.